South Africans are skidding, literally, towards death with illegal second-hand tyres. Many, of course, struggling to survive financially and trying to cut corners by buying from unscrupulous dealers. It's reported, listen to this, that over 60% of second-hand tyres sold in this country are actually illegal. Let's discuss this with Renay Moothilol from the National Association of Automotive Component and Allied Manufacturers. Renay, good morning to you. Thank you for your time. That number horrified me when I first saw it, considering how many cars are on our roads and considering already the carnage on South Africa's roads.
Yeah, absolutely. Gareth, thanks for having me this morning, and I think you hit the nail on the head. Very concerning, and I mean, we obviously can expect that with the economic pressures that have come about during the course of this year with the COVID pandemic, it's a situation that's probably going to get even greater exacerbation as we go towards the festive season.
I did see a question coming up on eNCA's Twitter account this morning asking, why are tyres so expensive? Surely, like you have an essentials list for groceries, there should be an essentials list of car components that just should not be allowed to put consumers into debt. Even budget tyres, Renay, are exceptionally expensive, especially for people from a lower income bracket.
Yeah, look, I mean, we've also got to understand that there's a significant amount of R&D and an IP that goes into the production of a fit-for-use tyre. And you'd be interested to know that, I suppose, as a result of globalization over the past 15 years or so, there is definitely an increase in greater availability of budget new tyres, to the extent that, I mean, you'd even see what we previously had as a retreading industry in South Africa has started to wane out. So I think we need to be conscious of the importance of recognizing what's being invested in the production of a suitable new tyre. I think as a result of competitive pressures, we're starting to see that it is not necessarily more expensive to be buying new tyres as opposed to some of the used tyres out on the market. I think there's an element of perception in there.
Renay, let's talk a little bit about the concerns around these second-hand tyres. It is a massive market. As part of my intro, I said 60% of these second-hand tyres are illegal. Let's say someone is watching now, they do need to get new tyres or second-hand tyres for their vehicle. There's nothing wrong with second-hand tyres, but what makes them illegal? Some consumer advice is really what I'm looking for. What should people be watching out for?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a good point you made. They're not all used tyres or tyres that come off through the fitment centres are illegal for use on the road in South Africa. I think it's really important that at least as a minimum, consumers make themselves aware of what is a functional tyre. Very often, the easiest way to start looking at something like this is to take some recognition of what we call the tread wear indicator. Most tyres have a little bump in between the tread patterns that once it wears out to equivalent surface of the tread, you then know you've got a tyre that's not fit for use. If you're able to pick up any cuts, bumps, abrasions on the surface of the tyre, again, not something that you should be putting on your vehicles. Very often you see fabric or tyre cord sticking out of used tyres. You know, the responsibility is actually on a dealer who's selling these tyres to grade them accordingly. In terms of waste regulation in South Africa, any of these not fit for purpose tyres should immediately be cut up and disposed according to the waste regulations. So there is an element of trust that needs to be had in the dealership system, and this is where I think consumers need to have some level of discretion. And I mean, typically you'd find you see these informal trade shops or these pop-up tyre shops may make use of reputable dealers, and even where the used tyres are coming out of these reputable structures, you probably can have some trust that it's gone through the appropriate screening process.
And what if a consumer does happen upon one of these tyre stores that aren't selling decent enough second-hand tyres, short of complaining to the local branch manager? What sort of action could a consumer take? If it is illegal, I imagine there's a higher authority that they can voice their concerns to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first thing, don't buy the tires. Just stay away from those tires. But they can be reported to your local SAPS. It is governed by the Road Traffic Act in South Africa, so it is actually illegal to be selling these tires, and law enforcement should take its process.
All right, I'm going to say thank you to you very much. Indeed, very useful information as far as second-hand tyres are concerned. A busy December season coming up. I'm sure many people are going to change their tyres. As you heard, second-hand tyres are fine, but there's a whole checklist you have to go through. It's your safety in the end. Renay Moothilol from the National Association of Automotive, Component and Allied Manufacturers. Let's turn